Almost all American journalism is controlled by a few massive corporations. News Voice is a one-of-a-kind mobile app that tracks the bias and corporate interests that infuse the news stories we consume every day, and it's completely free to use. Go to newsvoice.com/Pakman to download it. Donald Trump's Attorney General William Barr is now claiming that the pepper spray used to clear the path from the White House to St. John's Church is, quote, not a chemical irritant. This is the latest version, the latest defense of the now 7-day-old photo op that Donald Trump did, which ended, remember, with Donald Trump awkwardly holding a Bible in front of St. John's Church last Monday. We had video for you from last week of protesters clearly being gassed and dispersed with horses. You can see the gas rising as protesters flee. So the first statement the White House put out was no tear gas was used. Seemed like an obvious lie, and indeed, eventually a statement was put out, I believe, by the Park Service saying, we were wrong when we said it was incorrect to say that tear gas was not used. That was not true. So then William Barr, who's a completely sinister character in this entire Greek tragedy of the Trump administration, Trump's Attorney General, defended the use of what they used by saying, listen, they were warned multiple times before we started deploying the crowd control elements like gas. And we'll pick it up there. Here's William Barr saying, once police met resistance from protesters, yes, it was appropriate to use tear gas to clear a path for Donald Trump. Take a look.
Were appropriate. Is that
when
what
they
you're
met
saying?
resistance, yes. They announced 3 times. They didn't move. By the way, there was no tear gas used. The tear gas was used Sunday when they had to clear 8th Street to allow the fire department to come in to save St. John's Church. That's when tear gas was used.
There were chemical irritants. The park.
No, there were not chemical irritants. Pepper spray is not a chemical irritant. It's not chemical.
Pepper spray, you're saying, is
Pepper
what was
balls.
used.
Pepper balls.
Right. And you believe that was appropriate.
So Barr says everything was justified, tear gas was not used, and pepper spray balls are not a chemical irritant. So let's go through these claims one by one. First, tear gas wasn't used. Local reporters went through the area after this fiasco, and they collected used canisters of CM Speed Heat CS and CM Scat Shell OC. These are 2 types of tear gas. Now, is it possible that that was tear gas left over from the previous day, as William Barr is claiming, that the previous day, Sunday, not Monday, they used tear gas? Guess it's hypothetically possible. Doesn't seem hugely likely. So that part, Barr saying tear gas wasn't used, appears to be a lie. Then we get into the semantic thing, tear gas versus pepper spray. They are both chemical irritants. Each uses a different irritant. Pepper spray uses capsicum, which comes from the active compound in hot peppers. Tear gas is a halogen compound that is powder-like at room temperature. So in the most technical sense, these are 2 different things, but the CDC classifies pepper spray as a form of tear gas, so it becomes merely a semantic argument. Now, lastly, Barr says pepper spray is not a chemical irritant. Well, it is an irritant. This issue of chemical is that the chemical is one that exists in food as well. It's a highly concentrated version of the irritant in peppers. So what Barr maybe is leaning on is that it's a natural element rather than a lab-made chemical. But when you're talking about hot peppers and going through a process where you extract the irritant from the peppers, concentrate it into a pepper spray, the fact that it's, quote, naturally occurring seems irrelevant. And William Barr, he seems to be suggesting that this is no different than tossing some jalapenos at protesters. This is a highly concentrated, very powerful irritant that, once again, the CDC classifies as a form of tear gas. So it's gaslighting and it's deception all around. And William Barr, a horribly sinister figure in the Trump administration once again.